as you know, everybody, every year we have the Corkill Award, which is funded. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hold it there.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Good. The Corkill Award, which is funded by EMIS, and it has been running now for several years. This year, we had an exceptionally high standard of 17 PPGs. The award is given to the PPG who can demonstrate that over the last year, not in the past, just the last calendar year, they can give evidence of excellent work that benefits both the patients and the practice. So the judges were faced with quite a challenge this year. Now, we are an open and transparent organisation. Often judges are, you don't know who the judges are, the award comes out. But I'm going to tell you that this year there were 3 judges: Sue, who's just spoken, who's at the back of the room; Danny Daniels, who's our vice chairman, who sadly is not with us, and it's a sadness because he comes from Wales. And the winner is, as you all may now know, the practice of, and I now have forgotten its name, the North Cardiff Medical Centre. I have much pleasure in awarding this. Your work was superlative. And would you like to come, please, and tell us what you did? 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll try not to be more than 5 minutes. I've got a few slides to show you. Let's see if I can get
From
that
the
down.
beginning, over on the left-hand side, from the beginning. That's it. There you
There
go.
we go. That's brilliant. Okay. So, firstly, thank you very much. My name is Richard Cole, and I'm the current chair of the North Cardiff Medical Centre Patient Participation Group. I'm very proud to be representing Wales here, and I understand that it is the first time that a Welsh PPG has won the prize, so I'm even more proud of that. Over to my right is Mrs. Dinah Ball, who often refuses the title of Deputy Chair. But who we recognise as a person who's entered a long-standing and hard-working member of our group, and who I must acknowledge is the person who entered our PPG for the Corkill Award this year.
Richard was on holiday.
I was on holiday. And whose efforts obviously caught the eyes of the judges. So my personal thanks to Dinah, to the judges, for acknowledging our activities and results. So, 5 minutes to talk about North Cardiff Medical Centre PPG. Where to start? Well, let's go with geography. There we are, the clue is in the title really. Just north, not a coal mine in sight, just south of the M4, north of the now urban village of Lanishan, serving about 14,000 patients from the hinterland of Lisbane, Whitchurch, Rubina and Heath. Generally a more elderly patient demographic, but serving a good cross-section of the local community across polar extremes of ex-council housing estates to some of the most executive and expensive residences in the city. Our PPG started in 2004, one of, if not the first in Cardiff, from humble beginnings fostered by a GP, Dr. Hayden Mayo, who was truly interested in obtaining the patient perspective. And further, after a discussion with Danny Daniels, the seed was set, a core group was formed, and we progressed from there. So this is our practice, or at least it was then. The group was formed of a magistrate, we were very upstanding, a university professor, we were very educated, a financial expert, we were professionals, the local vicar, we were part of the community, and a representative of the disabled lobby. We were inclusive. But to be honest, I think we struggled identifying our purpose in the early days. The practice wanted to know what patients thought, so initially involved the group in surveys, GPAC and the like. The group number crunched their way through a quagmire of customer satisfaction. 70% of patients were satisfied, 25% were, and 5 were so bored by the time they got to the end of question 6, we never knew what they thought of question 10. Was that really what it was all about? The group really needed to make a positive connection with patients, promote themselves and what they were about. And then some bright spark had the idea of organising a health forum, a men's health forum. Prostates and willies are what changed our fortune. The church provided the venue, the clinicians made some calls and got some professors from the university, group members organised and supplied the food and drink, and one of our bravest members in my eyes took to the stage and talked to the audience of around 60 to 70 patients about his experience of prostate cancer. We were on our way. So let's bring you up to date. This is what our surgery looks like now. Why? Because of the fundraising efforts of the PPG? Unfortunately not. This is August 2007. Vindictive? No. Simply the result of a foolhardy schoolboy messing about with a lighter and a bad decision to see whether the contents of the litter bin would burn. Were we angry? Of course. Were we in shock, in disbelief? All of those things. But the schoolboy was genuinely sorry for his misdeeds and came to apologise to the practice, who were ultimately sympathetic to the weight of guilt the lad had put on himself, and who we imagine still to this day is haunted by the outcome of his actions. We were looking for a silver lining. The fire brought the community together. The practice struggled on via a branch surgery, the church provided land and assistance to accommodate a temporary surgery in porta cabins, and the PPG helped where it could, spreading news of progress on the new surgery and actively becoming involved in its design. And I think it was at this time that the PPG really defined its purpose. And I've got a message to any new PPG starting out. It's spend some time thinking about what you want to be about, what you can do in your local community. Our message was simple, our role was simple, and that was to make the patient healthcare experience better. We defined 5 aims: providing a means of communication, encouraging community interaction, providing support and advice, undertaking research, and fostering education. We now only involve ourselves in activities which fit one or more of those profiles. So here are some of them. We still organise health forums, some evening events such as diabetes and healthy joints, but also health and activity days, voluntary sector days, and we have recently undertaken a dementia support day. This activity in the last year brought together under one roof members of big nationals like the Alzheimer's Society, local support services, and local patients who were either worried about a friend, a relative, or indeed themselves. We ran a dementia cafe, sang with a dementia choir, and listened to experiences of a loving wife and carer to her husband as we listened how they had moved through the stages of diagnosis to parting. Many tears, many smiles, and much needed advice and support to those who attended. And yes, the schoolboy. What of the PPG's relationship with the school? Well, actually, an event that could have destroyed a relationship actually forged one of the strongest we have. For what transpired was a young person's health forum. What did we do? We went to the school and we asked the pupils what they would like to talk about. We expected sex. All school kids want to talk about sex. So we organised workshops on relationships, body changes, STDs and contraception. We expected drugs and alcohol, but we were not expecting depression, anxiety, or self-harming. We organised these workshops too. A real lesson in not thinking you know what is relevant for children. This resulted in an out-of-school day, where we had 3 workshops on sexual, psychological and physical well-being, plus a lot of fun and games on a Nintendo Wii on a grand scale. A super slap at lunch for the school children, and we still forged that bond with lots of other activities. So 9-year artwork now changes annually on the walls of the medical centre. We run an annual project on that with our arts department. These are just some images. We even had an art exhibition last year where parents and pupils from the school were invited to the medical centre on an evening project for a glass of wine or fruit juice. So these are some members of the school council. One of our aims this year is to appoint 2 of the school populace, 2 of the school council to our PPG, so we can get first-hand knowledge of what's going on in the local secondary school and what activities we might do to help them. We also run other projects. There are IT assistants, a tablet system in our waiting rooms where people who are interested can learn about accessing services from the surgery over the internet. Mission Good Neighbours, our local friends, and other community liaison. So that's it. North Cardiff Medical Centre, PPG, is a small voluntary group of patients providing the surgery with a constructive patient perspective, but also undertaking activities and events relevant to our community and really making a difference in making our patient healthcare experience better. So thank you. Thank you very much for the Corkill Award. It will take pride of place and hopefully inspire us to keep moving forward and spreading a positive healthcare message. Thank you very much, Patricia. Thank you.
Absolutely superb.
Thank you all very much.